Sasfin Securities. Select macroeconomic themes for 2015. New trends do not suddenly appear at the start of the year as many publications would have investors believe. The start of the year does not change trends. Trends, by their nature, have a degree of longevity. Secular trends are long-term, 10 years or so. Structural trends tend to be around 5 years in duration, and cyclical trends tend to be short-term. The beginning of the new Gregorian year is a time of reflection and reaffirmation of decisions to change our future in a more positive way. With this in mind, we look at 4 macroeconomic themes likely to impact or continue impacting markets. 1. A stronger US dollar. Until mid-2014, investors had become accustomed to a relatively weak US dollar, near zero US short-term interest rates, and massive monetary accommodation, which combined to provide a favorable backdrop for unprecedented capital flows into high-yielding currencies and commodities. A number of critical factors are changing and causing the US dollar to rise. This marks a significant shift in the investment environment. Since the introduction of the floating exchange rate system in 1973, the US dollar has been through 3 downswings: 1973 to 78, 1985 to 92, and 2001 to 11, and 2 upswings, 1978 to 85 and 1992 to 2001, with an average duration of around 7 years. A number of factors, including rising real US interest rates and a shrinking trade deficit, are falling into place, which suggests that the third US dollar uptrend post the Bretton Woods era may be underway, a trend which will result in the current rising US dollar trend remaining intact in 2015 and beyond. The 2 previous US dollar bull markets were associated with profound shocks. The 1978 to 1985 uptrend brought down Latin America. The 1992 to 2001 version brought down Asia. It's quite likely the emerging markets will be in the crosshairs this time too. A stronger dollar is a win-win for the global economy if it prolongs the US recovery and helps the rest of the world revive demand. It is dangerous if it reflects a more dramatic divergence in the economic fortunes of the world's most important economies, and the US dollar becomes the only game in town. In such an environment, emerging market economies are likely to see major capital outflows, and the US Federal Reserve will struggle to push up long-term interest rates even after short-term policy rates have been increased. The US dollar could soar with capital inflows putting excessive upward pressure on a US equity market which already looks reasonably priced on a 1-year forward earnings basis. 2. Growing divergence in emerging markets. Emerging market economies face a number of challenges in 2015 which were underway in 2014 and look set to intensify in the year ahead. With the price fall, the risk in emerging markets cheapened materially during 2014 and could cheapen further in a number of instances. The factors which look likely to polarize the performance of the emerging market group of economies in 2015 are: slowing global growth outside the US. The International Monetary Fund forecasts emerging market economies to grow at 5% in 2015. This growth rate is slower than the average for the period 2005 to 2012, excluding the Great Recession fall. Weakened commodity prices. Commodity prices are falling for 3 main reasons. Firstly, the US dollar is strengthening, which is pulling down US dollar-denominated commodity prices. Secondly, there is a slowdown in global non-US economic growth, and this is evident in China's demand for commodity imports. Thirdly, a number of major commodity suppliers have continued to increase supplies in the face of slowing demand growth, expanding the imbalance, which is badly hurting the high-cost producers. The opportunities for less painful economic reform are disappearing due to slower non-US global growth, lower commodity prices, and reduced, if not in some cases reversed, capital flows. On January 22, 2015, the European Central Bank announced plans for an expanded asset buying program, totaling about 1.1 trillion euros. The program will consist of asset purchases by the ECB of around 60 billion euros per month during 2015. The program will kick off in March. Investment-grade euro-denominated securities will be purchased. Although widely expected, the announcement did impact markets positively due to its sheer size. At the same meeting, Dr. Mario Draghi announced that the key interest rates in the Eurozone would be left unchanged for now. 3. South Africa, glass half full. Given that 2014 turned out to be an especially tough year for South Africa, it is worth reflecting on and reaffirming decisions to change South Africa's future in a more positive way in 2015. The glass is half full for South Africa, but this is a statement about the country's balance sheet and not about economic flow for growth. We have some of the richest mineral resources in the world. South Africa still has an established infrastructure by African continent standards. We have a country with incredibly beautiful and diverse landscapes and a spectacular offering of wildlife. We have a first-world financial system which is well regulated and where the retail banks are well capitalized. We have an urbanizing population which offers the ability to achieve economies of scale in public service delivery. However, one can also say that the glass is half empty. Economic growth is being constrained by growing imbalances in South Africa's economic structure and flows. The main structural imbalances are Eskom, low gross national savings, 13.4% of GDP, infrastructural backlogs, minimal foreign direct investment, significant company expansion outside SA creating investment, employment and taxes outside the country, low labor participation rate, very high unemployment, 25.5%, shrinking productive sector, persistent high budget deficit, 4.1% of GDP. The message is clear: South Africa is desperately in need of significant structural reform if the economic and social imbalances are not to worsen further and impede the country's potential growth rate. FNB chief economist's assessment of whether South Africa's growth rate in 2015 will bounce off its repressed 1.0% to 1.4% base of 2014 seems appropriate. It could do so a little if the labour strikes are less mortal, Eskom less morbid, global prospects somewhat better than imagined, and our confidence a bit perkier than seen so far. 4. Lower oil prices. The international crude oil price fell sharply over the last 6 months. The Brent crude oil price fell from a peak of $111 per barrel in mid-June 2014 to $57.7 per barrel at the end of December 2014, equivalent to a drop of 51%. Crude oil is used as a benchmark for many other energy, agricultural, and petrochemical products. The aggregate benefit of the lower crude oil price depends on how much the crude oil price falls and for how long. For now, Saudi Arabia seems to be willing to use oil as a weapon against its political opponents in the Middle East, Iran and Russia by way of Syria, and as a way to block the further development of US shale oil resources. It will take at least 1 to 2 quarters for North American tight oil production growth to slow, implying that the crude oil price could fall further in the first half of 2015. We do not see the Brent crude oil price staying down between $50 and $60 per barrel in the second half of the year. The main benefactors of lower fuel prices are likely to be the aviation, logistics, and fishing industries. The South African consumer will also benefit, but not as much as would be expected. As can be seen, 2015 is shaping up to be a very interesting year. Blessing or curse? We'll have to wait and see. And while we're waiting, we might as well enjoy the ride. A company that we are interested in. Luxottica. Luxottica is the world's largest vertical integrated producer and distributor of sun and prescription eyewear. Some of the brands that it owns includes Ray-Ban, Oakley, Vogue and Persol. It's also licensed to manufacture on behalf of Giorgio Armani, Chanel, Polo, Ralph Lauren and many more. Product design, development and manufacturing take place in Luxottica's 6 production facilities in Italy, 3 factories in China, 1 in Brazil and 1 sports sunglasses production facility in the United States. Luxottica's products are sold in more than 130 countries. Sunglass Hut, Lens Crafters and Pearl Vision are some of the stores owned by Luxottica and provides a retail network of over 7,000 stores. In addition, Luxottica is one of the largest managed vision care operators in the United States through iMed Vision Care and the second largest lens finisher, having a network of 4 central laboratories in North America, over 900 in-store labs at Lens Crafters stores.